What's up, Everyday Blades? Man, we have got my grail. I have been chasing this knife since I first heard about it. And they are just super scarce. I think it's let up a little bit just because of the economy. But they're still super tough to find and very expensive. But it's just such a great knife. I'm talking about the Oz Machine Company extra large Roosevelt. Comes with this nice pouch to put it in. Roosevelt XL, knife number 198, 626/24, HRC Magna Cut 63 to 64, angled milling, all tie construction, signed by the maker. Very cool. Let's get into it. So I had the original Oz Roosevelt, the one that was not Magna Cut. It was Z Finite, and I loved that knife. It was almost a perfect knife. It was just for my big old hands. It was just a little small, and I don't mind small knives, but it wasn't big enough to be a primary knife. Boy, they sure came out swinging on that, because this is more than big enough. Now, on me, with my big hands, this just looks like a large knife, average larger knife, especially when I choke up on it like that. I've heard some people say it's too big for them. I just like big knives in general, so it just really spoke to me. It's still got that super thin razor blade edge on it. Super thin stock. It's milled out all on the inside for weight. It's just like the original. They both feel unnaturally light. This one not as much as the original. This one it feel it a little bit more, kind of like the Arius. The Arius is probably the biggest example of that. Koenig Arius feels like it's not possible that it's that weight. Almost like it's made out of the wrong materials. It's just so super light, which is cool. This is not heavy by any means, but it's got a little more substance to it, but still very, very light for its size. And man, the function on this thing, the action on the blade, everything about this knife is awesome. The thumb hole opener is probably my favorite way of deploying a knife, just to roll it out. The scales on this are beautiful. So I had, to be fair, this is my second XL Roosevelt. The first one I bought had that rough chalkboard finish on it. I had told myself that it probably wouldn't be that rough, and I'll just deal with it, because it was the only one I could find, so I bought it. The second I bought it, hadn't even got here yet, and a friend messaged me and said, "Hey, I got this one. This is exactly what I was looking for with this." I believe they call it a silver surfer finish. It just feels so good. It's like glass all the way around the blade too. And I wanted it, man. And I just had to make some exceptions. I actually traded him a knife to get it. Did I trade him? I can't remember. No, maybe I bought it. Yeah, I bought it. I traded for my other one. This one I had to buy outright, but this is the one I want. And I want to tell you, when you're chasing a grail knife, don't settle, because if you get a finish, you don't. My thinking was, I'll just polish it and refinish it, and that's fine. I can do a good job at that, but then the knife's not original anymore, and it's just not worth what it was. It's not worth it to do that. Find the one you want. You're going to spend that kind of money, get the one you want. So I was able to trade that other knife, the other extra large, for another knife that I'll be reviewing after this. That was another one of my grail knives. I wasn't quite ready to get it, but things happen the way they happen. But that milling is just beautiful, and it's the perfect finish. It's just shiny enough where it's not leaving fingerprints. But there's no dullness to it. It's got plenty of pop to it, and it feels really good. Got that milled titanium pocket clip. It's exactly what it says. It's an extra large version of the original. And it just does such a fantastic job, man. It's just butter. Grip up on it like that. Or you can fall back on the regular one. My hand about takes up the whole handle when I grab it regular. But that's more of your operating position right there in that choil. It's such a large choil. But man, I'm just a huge fan. I regrettably don't have, and I can't even find online on YouTube where anybody has compared this side by side to a small one. But we do have our trusty rusty comparison knives. This is a Rat 1. And you can see it's just a little bit longer than the Rat 1. It's not crazy long. It's just the width of it makes it substantial. And there's a Rat 2. And what the heck, we'll throw this out there. My son's bug out. Kind of help you with, everybody knows the size of the bug out. So, let's check a couple of dimensions on it. Being the extra large, the dimensions are important. 3 3/4 on the blade. 4 3/4 on the handle scales. Let's check the weight of it. 5.2 ounces. For a knife that big, that's nothing. I mean, that's light for a knife this size. Because it's that width right there that really gives it its substantial, makes it a substantial knife. The total length of this is right at 8.5 inches. Now that's definitely not a small knife, but I definitely have knives bigger than that don't feel as big as this one does. It just feels perfect in my 2XL gloved hand. But it's just such that finish is so pleasing. Let's check the. This doesn't mean anything because it's been through a couple of hands. But let's see how sharp that MagnaCut has stayed. I'm sure that it's opened a few boxes and envelopes. Maybe not, but 140. Boy, you gotta love that MagnaCut. That is, if you don't know, that is extremely sharp. That's one of the lowest readings I've gotten on this channel. So it comes with the knife, the pouch. This is a really nice pouch, and it's a really inexpensive pouch. I wish all companies included something like this. You don't necessarily need to include a box. Save your money on the box and packaging and all that, and just invest in a nice pouch with your name on it. Something to stay with the knife forever when it ships or whatever. I just think that's a good idea. So there it is, my favorite knife, the Oz Machine Company XL Roosevelt. Guys, thanks for watching. God bless you and your families. Say a prayer for our country. Good night.